Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. Students, today we are going to revise the first chapter in literature section. What we are going to do? We are going to revise the first chapter in literature. What is the first chapter? Yes, you are right. The first chapter is it's a poem. I am late for school. Okay, students, let's revise the poem. Students, before going to revise, all of you be ready with your classwork note. Students, the first Roman is synonyms. Okay, what do you mean by synonyms? Synonyms mean meanings. Okay, what do you mean by synonym? Synonym means meanings. Okay, look at the first one. What is the first one? The first one is wolfed. WOLFED, wolfed. The meaning is ate quickly and greedily. Ate, A-T-E, ate quickly and greedily. The first one is wolfed. It means ate quickly and greedily. Let's move to the second one. Grab. What is the meaning for grab? To take. What is the meaning for grab? To take. Grab, to take. Students, read the same for 3 or 4 times and read it aloud. Then only you can easily pronounce these words. Okay. Let's move to the third one. Slit. What is the third one? Slit. S-L-I-D. Slit. The meaning is skid or skate. 2 answers are given for the third one. You can write any one, okay? Skid or skate. Third one is slit. The meaning for slit is skid or skate. Let's move to the fourth one. Strut. What is the fourth one? Strut. S-T-R-U-T. Strut. The meaning is to walk in a proud way. What is the meaning for the fourth one? To walk in a proud way. Strut. To walk in a proud way. Let's move to the fifth one. Abode. What is the fifth one? Abode. A-B-O-A-R-D. Abode. The meaning is get into. It may be a bus or ship, etc. Okay? Get into. Get into. Aboard, get into. Let's move to the last one. Delight. What is the last one? Delight. D-E-L-I-G-H-T. Delight. The meaning is happiness. H-A-P-P-I-N-E-S-S. Happiness. Okay, students. Again, I am repeating the same. Listen carefully. Wolfed. The meaning is ate quickly and greedily. Second one is grab. To take. Third one is slit. The meaning is skid or skate. You can write any one answer. Fourth one is strut. The meaning is to walk in a proud way. Fifth one is aboard. The meaning is get into a bus or a ship, etc. Okay. Let's move to the last one. Delight. The meaning for delight is happiness. Students, now we are going to revise the second Roman, that is antonyms. What do you mean by antonyms? It means opposites. Okay. A-N-T-O-N-Y-M-S. Antonyms. Antonym. Okay. It means opposites. Okay, students. Look at the first one. The first one is forgot. What is the first one? Forgot. Opposite of forgot is remember. Okay. Opposite of forgot is remember. Forgot, remember. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. Remember. Let's move to the second one, front. 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 Opposite of front is back. 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 Okay. Front, back. Let's move to the third one, haste. 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 The opposite is delay. 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 Let's move to the fourth one, late. 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 Okay. The opposite of late is early. 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 Let's move to the fifth one, right. Right. Okay. The opposite of right is wrong or left. Students, you can write any one answer because two answers are given for the fifth one. You can choose any one, right, wrong or left. Okay students, again I am repeating the same, so listen carefully. The first one is forgot. The opposite of forgot is remember. Second one is front. Opposite of front is back. The third one is haste. The opposite of this word is delay. And the fourth one is late. The opposite of late is early. And the fifth one is right. For right, two answers are given. One is wrong, another one is left. You can write any one answer. Students, now we are going to revise the third pattern, that is idioms. Do you know the meaning for idioms? What do you mean by idiom? Do you know? Idiom is a group of words. Idiom is a group of words, not a single word. It is a group of words that has a special meaning. Okay? What do you mean by idiom? Idiom is a group of words that has a special meaning that is different from the ordinary meaning of each separate word. When we see the meaning of a separate word, there is a different meanings. When we see the group of words, these words has a special meaning. Okay, students, what do you mean by idiom? Idiom is a group of words that has a special meaning that is totally different from the ordinary meaning of each separate word. Let us see two idioms. The first one is on cloud 9. What is the first one? On cloud 9. The meaning for this idiom is very happy. What is the meaning for on cloud 9? It means very happy. Instead of very happy, we can use on cloud 9. If you are saying anywhere, if you are saying the word very happy in somewhere, we can use on cloud 9. Look at the given example. I was on cloud 9 after receiving the award. It means I was very happy after receiving the award. In this example, we used on cloud 9 instead of very happy. Students, what do you mean by idiom? Idiom is a group of words that has a special meaning. Here, on cloud 9, it's a group of words. That means it is an idiom. The meaning for this idiom is very happy. Whenever we use the words very happy, instead we can use the idiom on cloud 9. Let's move to the second one, hit the book. What is the second one? Hit the book. The meaning for this idiom is to study. What is the meaning? To study. Let us see the example. I need to hit the book for my exams. It means I need to study for my exams. When we use the words to study, instead of it, we can use hit the book. Idiom is hit the book. The meaning is to study. Instead of to study, we can use the idiom hit the book. hit the book. Okay students, again I'm repeating, so listen carefully. The first idiom is on cloud 9. On cloud 9. The meaning is very happy. Given example is, I was on cloud 9 after receiving the award. Let's move to the second one, hit the book. The meaning is to study. The given example for the second one is, I need to hit the book for my exams. Students, now we are going to see the fourth Roman, that is verb forms. Students, in verb forms, we are divided into three columns. One is V1. V1 means present tense. Okay, the second column is V2. It means past tense. And the V3. V3 means past participle. What do you mean by present tense, past tense, and past participle? What do you mean by present tense? Present tense means it is used to talk about the current event. The present tense is the verb tense. It is used to talk about the current event or present situation. Okay? What happening now? It is present tense. What do you mean by present tense? Present tense is used to talk about current situation. Okay? Then what do you mean by past tense? Past tense shows that you're talking about something that has already happened. Okay? What do you mean by past tense? Past tense is the verb tense that you're talking about something that has already happened. Okay? Students, now what do you mean by past participle? Past participle refers to an action. Okay? It refers to an action that was started and completed in the past. Okay students, now you know the meaning for present tense, past tense and past participle. Look at the first one. The first one is slide. Slide is the present tense. Okay? Slide is the present tense. What is the past tense of slide? That is slid. S-L-I-D. Slid. Present tense is slide. Past tense is slid. What is the past participle of slide? Slid or slidden. Two answers are given. You can write any one. Okay? Slid or slidden. Okay? Present tense is slide. Past tense is slid. And the past participle is also slid. And another one answer is slidden. Let us move to the second one. Forget. What is the second one? Forget. And the past tense of forget is forgot. Okay? Present tense is forget and the past tense is forgot. What is the past participle? Forgotten. Okay? Past participle is forgotten. Present tense is forget. Past tense is forgot. Past participle is forgotten. We have to add some words at the end of the present tense. Okay? In past participle we have to add some words. That's all. Okay? Let's move to the third one. Throw. The present tense is throw. The past tense is threw. T-H-R-E-W. Threw. The past participle is thrown. T-H-R-O-W-N. Thrown. Throw. Past tense is threw. Past participle is thrown. And the fourth word is swing. Present tense is swing. Okay? S-W-I-N-G. Swing. The past tense of swing is swung. S-W-U-N-G. Swung. And the past participle is also swung. Okay? Students, already we have learned that present tense is used to talk about the present situation. That means it talks about the current situations. Past tense. Past tense is used to talk about the situation that has already happened. And the past participle is also used to talk about the action which is started and completed in the past. Okay? Again, I am repeating the same words, so listen carefully. The first word is slide. Present tense is slide. Past tense of slide is slid and the past participle is slid or slidden. Second word is forget. Present tense is forget, past tense is forgot, past participle is forgotten. And the third word is throw. Present tense is throw, past tense is threw, and the past participle is thrown. Fourth word is swing. Present tense is swing, past tense is swung, and the past participle is also swung. Students, now we are going to revise the last Roman. Answer the following questions. Students, in this Roman, 4 question answers are there. Let's revise one by one. Look at the first one. The first question is, what did the poet put in his bag in a hurry? What did the poet put in his bag in a hurry? What are the things he put in his bag? Let's see the answer. The poet put his books, pens, lunchbox and shorts in his bag in a hurry. Students, he kept some things in his bag, okay? Let's see what are the things. Books, pens, lunchbox and shorts. These 4 things he put in his bag. Okay, students, again I'm repeating. What did the poet put in his bag in a hurry? The poet put his books, pens, lunchbox and shorts in his bag in a hurry. Again I'm repeating the answer. The poet put his books, pens, lunchbox and shorts in his bag in a hurry. Students, first one is over. Now we are going to revise the second question and answer. The second question is, what things did he carry for sports? Students, what are the things he carried for sports? The answer is, the poet carried a bat and ball for sports. The poet, okay, the boy carried a bat and a ball for sports. Students, again I am repeating the same question and answer, so listen carefully. What things did he carry for sports? Answer is, the poet, listen carefully, the poet carried a bat and ball for sports. Students, while writing the answer, read and write, okay? While writing the classwork, read the answer and write. Then only you can easily understand the answer and question also. Students, now we are going to revise the third one. So look at the third question. When did the poet realize that things were not right? Again I am repeating the same question, so listen carefully. When did the poet realize that things were not right? Students, when the poet realized that things were not right, when, that moment we have to explain now, okay? Let's read the answer. The moment the poet climbed aboard the bus, he saw his friends pointing at him and laughing. Then he realized that things were not right. Students, when the poet realized, when he climbed aboard the bus. What is the meaning for aboard? Get into. When he get into the bus, he saw his friends. Okay, what they did? They pointing the poet and laughing at him. Then only the poet realized that things were not right. Students, again I am repeating the same question and answer, so listen carefully. When did the poet realize that things were not right? The answer is, the moment the poet climbed aboard the bus, he saw his friends pointing at him and laughing. Then he realized that things were not right. Students, Now we are going to revise the last one, that is fourth one. Why did the poet's face go red? Why did the poet's face go red? Answer is, the poet's face turned red with embarrassment when he realized that he had forgotten to wear his trousers, jumper, shirt, socks, and shoes. Students, read the question and understand, why did the poet's face go red? Answer is, a poet's face turned red with embarrassment. Embarrassment means feeling shy and not feeling good in front of others. Okay, the poet's face turned red with embarrassment when he forgotten to wear his dress, like he forgotten to wear his trousers, jumper, shirt, socks, and shoes. That's why his face turned into red with embarrassment. Students, again I am repeating the same question and answer, so listen carefully. Why did the poet's face go red? The poet's face turned red with embarrassment when he realized that he had forgotten to wear his trousers, jumper, shirt, not short, trousers, jumper, shirt, socks, and shoes. Okay, students, let's read the poem. I got up late for school today and nearly missed the bus. I hurried down the stairs, wolfed my toast, and caused a fuss. Students, again I am repeating the same stanza, so listen carefully and read along with me, okay? I got up late for school today and nearly missed the bus. I hurried down the stairs, wolfed my toast, and caused a fuss. I quickly threw books in my bag, my pens, my lunch, and shorts, grabbed my coat from out the cupboard, took my bat and ball for sports. Students, again I am repeating the same stanza, so listen carefully and read along with me, okay? I quickly threw books in my bag, my pens, my lunch, and shorts, grabbed my coat from out the cupboard, took my bat and ball for sports. Students, now I am going to read the third stanza, so listen carefully. I slid across the kitchen floor and hopped around the cat, then expertly rolled over, jumped back up and grabbed my hat. Again I am repeating the same stanza, so listen carefully and read aloud, okay? I slid across the kitchen floor and hopped around the cat, then expertly rolled over, jumped back up and grabbed my hat. Students, now I am going to read the fourth stanza, so listen carefully. I belted out of our front door, spun round and swung it shut. Saw the bus was waiting for me. I felt I had time to strut. Students, again I am repeating the same stanza, so read along with me aloud, okay? I belted out of our front door, spun round and swung it shut. Saw the bus was waiting for me. I felt I had time to strut. Students, now I am going to read the fifth stanza, so listen carefully. I climbed aboard and then froze still, and knew that things were not right. My friends fell down in fits of fun and pointed with delight. Again, I am repeating the same stanza, so read aloud. I climbed aboard and then froze still and knew that things were not right. My friends fell down in fits of fun and pointed with delight. Students, now I am going to read the last stanza, so listen carefully. My face went red, I couldn't breathe, for in my haste I knew I would forgotten to wear trousers, jumper, shirt, my socks and shoes. Students, again I am repeating the same stanza, so listen carefully. My face went red, I couldn't breathe, for in my haste I knew I would forgotten to wear trousers, jumper, shirt, my socks and shoes. Students, all of you take the page number 17. Here is an interesting activity. Let us see how to do. Get to know a little more about 3 of your good friends. Talk to them and fill in the table. Students, we have a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends in our school, in our tuition and nearby our houses also. But from them, we have just 3 or 4 as very close and good friends. It's a very useful activity to know more about your friends. Now what you want to do means you have to talk to them. You have to speak with your friends and ask them what their favorite books and what their favorite films, sports and hobbies. Or otherwise now you are not in school, because in this situation you are staying at your houses. You can make a call to your friends and ask them. Otherwise you can call your parents or brothers and ask them what their favorite sports, books and hobbies. Okay students, look here. A tabular column is there. Inside 4 columns, we have separated the table as 4 columns. One column is filled with some headings and remaining 3 are empty. So let us see how to do. The first one is name of friend. What is the first one? Name of friend. Okay, here I have written 2 examples. Just 2 examples I have done here. But what do you want to do? You have to write your own friend's name. Okay, I have written John and Meera. Okay, next one is hobbies. You have to write any 2 hobbies of your friends. Here John's hobbies are, one is gardening and another one is cooking. So these 2 are hobbies for John. And next one is Meera. We are going to write hobbies of Meera. So Meera's hobbies are, one is dancing and another one is drawing. Students, just remember that you have to write your own friend's name and their activities. Okay. And the next one is favorite books. Favorite books. You have to write any 2 of your friends' favorite books. Here I have written Harry Potter and the Jungle Book. These 2 are very favorite. These 2 are favorite for John. And next one is Sleeping Beauty and Fairy Tales. The Sleeping Beauty and Fairy Tales are the favorite books of Meera. And the next one is favorite films. Favorite films means movies. Any 2. You have to write any 2 movies of your friend. So here John's favorite movies are, one is Zootopia and another one is Toy Story. So these 2 are most favorite for John. And next is Meera's favorite movies are, one is Toy Story and another one is Finding Nemo. These 2 are favorite movies of Meera. And next one is sports. Favorite sports. Everyone likes sports. So here also you have to write any 2 favorite sports of your friend. So we have written here cricket and tennis are the favorite sports of John. And next one is Meera's favorite sports are, one is badminton and another one is football. Okay, let's move to the next one, strength. Here you have to write any 2 of your friends' strength. Strength means, what do you mean by strength? Strength means positive things. Positive things or good things. You have to write about good about your friend. So I have written John's strength as caring and kind in nature, because John is very caring person. He is very caring person and kind to everyone. And Mira's strengths are she is helpful to everyone and hard worker. Okay, she is helpful. If anyone asks help, she does. Whatever it may be, she does. So that's why I have written helpful and hard worker. And next one is weaknesses. I said that strength is a positive thing or good thing. Then what about weaknesses? It is opposite to strength. I said strength is a positive. So weakness means negative or bad things. So you have to write about your friend's weaknesses. Any two you should write. Okay. So I have written John's weaknesses are, one is lazy and stubborn. He is always lazy. And stubborn means adamant. He is very stubborn and lazy. Let us see about Mira's weaknesses. So Mira's weaknesses are, one is fearful and impatient. What are the weaknesses of Mira? One is fearful and impatient. So this is the way you have to write in your textbook. And one more thing, keep it in your mind, you don't want to copy these two. You have to write your own friend's name and their favorite books and their favorite films, sports and hobbies. Okay students, write neatly, clearly. Write neatly and clearly students. Students, today we have revised first chapter in literature part, that is chapter number 1, I am late for school. Students, we have revised synonyms, antonyms, idioms, verb forms and answer the following questions. I hope you understand the first chapter, and today also we have read the poem again. Students, my suggestion is to do reading practice. Then only you can easily understand the concept and you can easily read everything. So keep practicing. You should do reading practice as well as writing also. We will meet on next class with a new topic. Thank you.